I think I hit snooze once and then just missed it.
What happened?
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, to Streaming Screams.
And our second annual spooky season super scary Screamtacular.
I am Glenn. I'm here with Jess.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about some horror. And today we are going to be bringing things back to the great clown terror of 2016, even though this movie was not made in 2016 at all. And I don't think it takes place then either.
No, it takes place modern.
Yeah, it's modern times. We are doing Clown in a Cornfield. Released in 2025, written by Carter Blanchard and Eli Craig, directed by Eli Craig, starring Katie Douglas as Quinn Maybrook, our final girl and the new girl in town. She has a loving but strained relationship with her father, as she did not want to relocate. Aaron Abrams as Dr. Glenn Maybrook. Hey, Glenn.
Oh,
I'm always.
I was like, who? What?
I'm always so excited when I see somebody in media named Glenn.
Which is funny because I hate when there's somebody named Jessica.
But there's a million Jessicas in media.
There's a lot of Glens also.
I mean, we got Glenn from Walking Dead, Glenn from Clown in a Cornfield.
No, there's lots of movies that have a Glenn.
Like what?
I mean, all the time when I'm watching stuff, I don't know. There's lots of movies
Like
with
what?
Glenn. It's not memorable to me. I don't know. But all the time there's people named Glenn.
No, it's funny.
There's actually not Jessica's in media very often. But when it comes up, I'm always like, ugh.
That's really funny. Glenn isn't like a rare name.
I'm like, Jessica, besides Jessica Jones, name other Jessicas in media.
Isn't Morty's crush named Jessica? Yeah. Wasn't there a Jessica in Walking Dead as well?
I don't think so. But there's so many people in
There's
that
so
show
many fucking
that
people
I don't
in that
know.
show. Yeah.
I'm like, if they're not from like season 3 or earlier, I probably have no idea who their names are.
Valid point.
There's too many people.
There were way too many people. That show went on for too long. I still haven't watched the last season. We're going to. We'll probably do it, around this period of time. Yeah, but no, Glenn isn't like a rare name, but it's not a common name either.
I'm just saying it's in media quite often.
So
actually.
I get excited.
I only notice it
when
now
it's media
because
when it isn't Glenn Beck, I get excited.
No,
fuck that guy.
Well, yeah, but no. But it's just because ever since we lived together, you're like, and Walking Dead, you're like, oh, there isn't really Glenn in media. Now I notice it every time there is, and it's not that rare.
It is.
It comes up all the time.
There's Glenn Danzig and nobody else. Yeah, anyway. Aaron Abrams as Dr. Glenn Maybrook, Quinn's father who is trying to start a new life after the death of his wife. Carson McCormack as Cole, the main love interest for Quinn. He is part of a friends group that likes to make creepypasta videos based on Friendo, the town mascot. He, like his friends, is a prankster. Vincent Muller as Rust. Rust seemingly used to have a friendship with Cole. He's got a more mature personality, but has a big old chip on his shoulder towards Cole and his friends. Fuck them. That was your note. Okay.
Sorry, I just don't feel like it ever seemed like they were going to be a love interest.
So I don't think...
He literally comes off as a fucking weirdo and then doesn't show up again until like...
No, I know. But I don't think that there was a really good job of making it seem like they might get together. And I don't think that they ever tried to make it look like she had a crush on him. But his whole thing where he gets upset every time he sees her and Cole together, I think was supposed to be a red herring that there was going to be a love triangle here between them.
I think he's just supposed to be the weirdo, so you're supposed to think he's doing everything. I think he's the red herring of he's the killer.
You know what? That might be true too, but I didn't get that.
Because he's just weird from the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, not all of us are rednecks. Some of us don't care what people think. And it's like, okay. Those two things do not negate whether you're a redneck or not.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't think anyone in this movie comes off as a redneck. Not even the townsfolk. There's a difference between being from a small town and being a hunter and being a redneck.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny is Russ seems more like a redneck than anybody. But even then, he doesn't seem like a redneck. He's just an awkward.
He's a quiet.
He's an awkward teen who likes to hunt.
He's a hunter because he lives in a small town. There's not much else to do. And it's free food.
Yeah, a point that he makes very clear later in the movie.
Yeah.
Kevin Durand as Arthur Hill, Cole's dad and the town mayor who really seems to hate kids. Will Sasso as Sheriff Dunn, the town sheriff who really hates kids and also seems pretty sleazy. Then we've got Cole's prankster-ass friends, Cassandra Potenza as Janet, and Verity Marks as Ronnie, two kind of catty mean girl types.
It is surprising. It's similar to Prom Queen, that it's like, oh, we got these like group of people, and they're really not distinct. Other than like what they look like.
They are super catty mean girl types.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying the two girls, they're not distinct other than one's a blonde and one, you know what I mean? It's like they look different, but otherwise it's like if you ask me to define any of these kids' personalities, I'm like, I don't know, asshole kids.
Well, we've got I mean, we do have Ao Solanke? How do you think?
Ao Solanke.
Okay, we've got Ao Solanke as Tucker, a drummer. That is sadly the extent of his. But that's what I'm saying. And then we've got Alexander Martin Deacon as Matt, Ronnie's jock boyfriend.
Yeah, he's kind of a jock, but even he's like kind of not. It's like they dress him to be that way, but then everything like when he takes his shirt off, very scrawny. They make him seem like he's very buff. He's not. Which is actually kind of a teenager thing.
Yeah, it is pretty wild that there is this whole group of kids, and like as a whole there's a personality there, which is, you know, creepypasta loving YouTube and
prank
TikTok
videos.
Pranker types, prankster types.
Sure.
But like
worse.
I know. But try to separate them out a little bit and it just becomes like mean girl, jock, token black kid.
Who gets killed in the very beginning.
Who gets killed first?
So we were watching this, Craven was like, are they really going to kill the black guy first? And I was like, well, technically somebody died before, two people died beforehand. He's like, that doesn't count.
That was in the 90s. Man, yeah.
Which also doesn't happen in the book.
Have you read the book?
No, but I watched a comparison thing. No, also this is like a series.
Yeah, I don't know how many there are. I know there's at least one more. I assume there's probably a few more. Do you want to get into basic thoughts on the whole thing before we get into the plot?
No, we can go through because I'm going to wait till we get further in before I start mentioning any differences.
Okay.
But the things they changed in this movie are bizarre.
Okay, all right. So this movie takes place in Kettle Springs, Missouri, and the town is kind of centered around the Bay Pen corn syrup factory. So there's a lot of cornfields everywhere, as per the title. The Bay Pen mascot.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is this about the origins of He Who Walks Behind the Rose?
He Who Walks Behind the Road?
Rose.
The fucking. Don't say it. Fucking Randall Flagg.
No.
What are you referring
wrong.
to? What are you referring to? Who's He Who Walks Behind the Rose?
It's Children in the Cornfield, or Children of the Corn.
Oh, you know what?
They talk about He Who Walks Behind the Rose. Randall Flagg is from The Stand.
Right. I have never been a big Children of the Corn fan.
It's fun.
I watched it a couple times when I was younger. I have it on DVD for some reason, but I don't know why.
Well, me and Craven, because he'd never seen any of them, so we watched the first two and then the most recent remake, which is terrible.
So the reason I think of Randall Flagg is because the Rose does his whole thing of just walking down these country roads all the time, and the field of roses in front of the Dark Tower, and
not roses.
It is roses.
No, not for He Who Walks Behind the Rose. Not roses. It's the rose of corn.
Oh, huh. Yeah, sure. But when you said that, in my head, I was thinking rose as in rose. Yeah, Children of the Corn is whatever. I fucking love the Dark Tower series, even the weird ass ending to it. Randall Flagg is one of the great villains in horror, in my opinion, and I haven't been able to bring myself to watch the Stand miniseries from forever ago, because like...
Which one, the 90s one or the...
Was there a more recent one?
Yeah.
I did watch the one with Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba, which was... Sorry, that's Dark Tower, not the Stand.
No, there was another miniseries.
No, I don't think
it was on HBO.
I don't think I watched the newer Stand miniseries. I probably should, but I don't know. The Dark Tower movie left such a bad taste in my mouth. That movie was atrocious, which is really a shame because I think Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, it came out in 2020. It's on Paramount Plus.
Is it any good? Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. It was fun.
Was it fine or was it good?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. Yeah, the Dark Tower movie.
It has Alex Skarsgård as Randall Flagg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, Alex Skarsgård. Is that a different Skarsgård?
It's the guy from True Blood, and he was the guy in the Viking movie that
Right. Okay.
Robert Eggers did.
The Northman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
All right. I mean, I might give it a shot. I don't know. I just, I think Matthew McConaughey did a pretty good job with him, with Randall Flagg, but he's such a...
This is totally off topic.
Oh, this is way off topic.
I was just making a Children of the Corn joke.
I know. But he's such a, the character of Randall Flagg was so burned into my head reading The Dark Tower and The Stand that, I don't know that I can find a live action version of him that's going to match up to, the fucking icon that's in my brain, Because say what you will about Stephen King, and there's a lot you can say about a lot of his books. Randall Flagg is a great villain. The Stand is an amazing fucking book. And the Dark Tower series has its low points, but it is a really good series overall. Anyway, yeah, that whole thing
might supposed to be redoing that too.
The Dark Tower?
Yeah. Because everybody hated that first movie.
I don't know. It's really weird because when they initially set out to do the movie, there were some big, bold plans in place. It was going to be a trilogy of movies. They were going to be faithful to the book. And there was going to be a series, I think, planned for HBO that you were going to have the three main stories in these movies. And then all of the side adventures and interstitial stuff was going to go in the TV series. And it actually made a lot of sense the way they were planning to do it. It wasn't the absolute nonsense that Marvel has been doing.
Apparently, yes, a reboot TV series is in the works right now. Mike Flanagan is developing it.
Okay, I trust him.
And they already got the first season outline, and it's going to be at least 5 seasons.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. They should punctuate that.
But they already have the pilot episode written, and then they have an outline for the first season.
Good. I think that they should go with that original plan and punctuate that with a few movies, because there are a few very much movie-worthy stories in that series. But
I will not participate if that's what they're doing.
Like I said,
I'm against the whole modern thing of to watch one movie, you have to watch 6 series and 5 other movies, else you have no idea what's going on. I'm what are we doing? I should be able just to go to a movie and see something, especially if I've seen the other movies in the series. But no. You also have to watch.
I think that there's ways to do it so that it works. I think that the X-Files, you can watch the movies or you can just watch the series. You don't necessarily need to watch them all together. They do make more sense if you do. But I think that was a good example for how you can have movies as part of a TV series.
No, it wasn't part of a TV series because the TV series were over.
No, they weren't. The first movie came out in between seasons 4 or between seasons 5 and 6.
And nobody really remembers the movies or likes them very much.
Oh, everybody likes the first movie. The second one, was there a third movie?
I think so.
No, it was just
anyways, we could go because I mean,
holy fuck, we are going. Yeah,
because you could also say if we want to go into X-Files, let's just talk about how they already ruined it by as soon as they made Dana and fucking Mulder get together.
Well,
they never should have got together. I don't think Dana ever liked him.
When we have more time in our lives,
he liked him as an annoying brother.
When we have more time in our lives, let's just do a fucking spin-off on the X-Files. A spin-off podcast on the X-Files, because man, I could do that all day. All right. Fuck, so much of that's got to get cut. Here we go. So we start in 1991, where a few teens sneak away from a party to a nearby cornfield and are killed by Friendo the Clown. To me, this scene, I think, just establishes that this isn't the first time this has happened in this town, but beyond that, I don't think it adds anything to the film.
It doesn't.
And it also kind of made me think of It with like this 20-year cycle of attacks when it wakes up to feed. Which immediately just irked me. Quinn and her dad, Glenn, begin moving to their new home while arguing. It's a fairly typical setup where a single parent has moved their kid out to nowhere to start a new life after the death of a spouse, and the kid is trying to be supportive, but is also still really resentful about being moved to absolutely nowhere.
Which I'll say, there's already two differences from the book. Like, one, it starts differently. There is no flashback thing, and I'll get into why later. But then she has her and her dad have like a great relationship.
In the book, really?
Yeah. They totally are super close and they love each other. They bicker a little like, teens do. But otherwise, no, they're like super tight.
I mean, they seem like...
No, but she's not bitter about moving and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because she's very bitter about moving in the movie.
No.
Rust comes over to introduce himself to his new neighbors and see if he can walk Quinn to school. On the way, he tells her to be careful who she hangs out with because there's a bunch of weirdos in this town.
Which I will say already, too. This movie was already annoying me. The dialogue is so unnatural. The whole bickering with the dad is so forced. And it's like the words they use is just like, this is not how people talk.
There are moments between the daughter and the dad where I feel like they're trying to do like a little bit of tension in a really close relationship. And there were a couple points where I felt like they were almost trying to go for like a Gilmore Girls-esque vibe between them.
Seen it, so.
Oh, it's about a mother and a daughter that are super fucking close. And at points tension arises because the mother was a teen mom. So they're pretty close in age and all that. It's actually a really good show.
I know you've watched it.
It's actually a really good show, and the dialogue is very fast and fun.
Well, this, like I said, it just seemed fake and like forced, and I'm like, nobody talks like this. It felt like a 50-year-old trying to write like Gen Z.
Yeah. And so I feel like the 50-year-old in question tried to write Gen Z after binge watching Gilmore Girls and didn't do a good job.
Maybe, I don't know, but like I said, I already in this movie was like, ugh. What is happening? Or why? Yeah, it's just. Oh, also, so she gets to school and they're like, oh, you're late. But I'm like, then why were all these kids outside? Like, everybody just got to school.
Dude.
It's high school. There isn't classes at different times like college.
Right.
Everyone starts at the same time. So you're saying that like the entire school is late?
Yeah. That's one of those things that filmmakers will do and just hope you don't notice.
I feel like I usually don't
filmmakers will
notice continuity errors because I'm not looking for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're going to say, as soon as she walks in and they're like, you're late. I was like, what?
Yeah. Like, what? Didn't she just come out of a hallway
we literally just saw a bunch of kids like walking into the school.
Yeah. Oh, you know what though?
And also that means that he pick her up late?
We don't see her in the hall. She gives a throwaway line that explains this.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's such a quick throwaway line that it does make everything seem inconsistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, they put the wrong room number on my thing. But in modern day, how does that happen? Like, it's a printed out thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they do.
Oh, it's probably an app now. I don't know.
I mean, right? But like even when I was going to school, they would hand you a printed out thing, and it was just basically like it was from the fucking computer file. So unless they're like looking up teachers and their corresponding rooms in one file and manually filling that in another file, I don't see it happening. And frankly, just don't see that happening in 2025. I don't care how fucking rural the school is.
Well, also, if we're going to be real nitpicky, I'm like, so Russ just took you to school and then went, have fun finding your way around. You don't think he would be like, do you know where your classroom is?
I think the idea was that he just took her to you know what? Who knows? Let's not fill in gaps for the script here.
Yeah. All right. Establishing scene. No.
Establishing scene. All right. So due to being late, the teacher hating kids, and a class prank on the teacher, Quinn gets detention.
The pranks are also out of control.
Out of fucking control.
I was like, what? Where did they get the materials to do this? Like, where?
And how did they? It's like 4 pranks all at the start of the thing. Like, how does this teacher not become a school shooter already? Yes. Right? It's fucking wild.
Like, these kids do suck.
Yeah.
But also, like, they got
Doesn't
that.
Anybody ever?
That printout thing thing. I'm like, do you know how much that would cost? Especially in a rural place. What, do they get some Kinkos down the street?
But also, how did they pull this off? Teachers usually get there a little while before the kids, right?
Yeah.
So, like, are they, like, sneaking in the middle of the night to pull this shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could see them do that because this is a real mischievous group of kids. But seriously, it was wild.
I mean, I guess I get it because when Lucian was going to high school, they actually ended up locking the bathrooms and you couldn't go in unless you got permission, which I was really pissed about. But it was because of like TikTok pranks. People were like ripping the paper towel dispensers and the soap dispensers off the wall.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So, I don't know. The youths.
To be fair, ripping the soap dispenser off the wall takes 30 seconds. This was
Not
elaborate.
cool,
Sure. My point being, this is elaborate nonsense.
No, it is.
This would have taken like coordinated efforts.
Where did the tests go?
Right. And how did he end up with a pile of these fucking tests, you know?
Anyways.
Anyway.
This is why you got to give kids something to do in a town, because if not, they're going to cause havoc.
This is what you end up with. Don't make your small town boring, guys. Yeah, so Quinn gets attention along with the rest of her class, which gives her a chance to make friends with Cole and his crew.
We're never going to get anywhere, because it's also, because it's not the whole class. It's just the prank, like the kids that are known for pranking and her. And I'm like, how did she get roped into them? But the rest of the class isn't there. It's just the 4 or 5 that she ends up doing stuff with.
Was it just that?
Yes.
So she was the first one to get detention.
I know, but still.
And then Cole started sticking up for her, and then he got detention, and then the prank test happened. But the teacher did tell everybody.
He did, but then it just ends up being them 5.
Oh my fucking God. Okay.
We love this movie. It's great. Anyways.
I have things to say. We get a few scenes that show just how severe the generational tension is in this town, and it is severe. The waitress at the diner shows obvious disdain for Quinn, but not for Glenn.
And for no reason.
For zero reason.
She did nothing. She showed up.
Yeah, the waitress was just like absolutely a bitch for nothing.
Yeah.
The sheriff is getting pissed at Cole and the other kids for literally peeking into the diner window. The kids, quote, steal booze from a liquor store, but really Cole leaves a bunch of money to cover it anyway.
So he's a good guy.
Yeah. Goody two-shoes. Just kidding. Don't steal, kids. Later on, the kids are out drinking at a warehouse or something, and we get an exposition dump about how they had been shooting one of their videos at the factory when it burned down, and the town blames them for it, but they seem to think that somebody set them up. Cole and Quinn have a bonding moment, commiserating over dead family members. Something happened. There was an accident where Cole's sister died last year, and, you know, as we already talked about, Quinn's mom is dead.
Okay, so the opening scene of the book is the flashback of how his sister died, which, without spoiling any further, this ends up being an integral plot point, and it's crazy that they end up just doing this where it's kind of like a throwaway thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like, out of nowhere, just out of passing, be like, yeah, my sister died too.
Yeah.
She jumped off the thing and didn't make it.
And it does end up being a big deal at the end,
yes,
but they never remind you of it in between that.
No, that's why when I heard that the book opens with, there is no flashback to past killings, because no past killings ever happened in the book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They made a huge deal about how it's every few generations in the movie.
And then, but yeah, so it's his sister's death that I'm like, oh, that makes way more sense. And the whole sister's death thing is like very impactful. It's like through Cole's story and like everything going on. And I'm like, so weird that they decided just to like skim over it.
Cole drives Quinn home late, but Glenn catches them making out in the car and has a pretty standard dad reaction, leading to a fight over Glenn having moved them out to this town. Tucker is attacked and murdered by someone dressed as Friendo the Clown. Basic home invasion and slasher style murder.
Yeah, so when they went to go drink, the warehouse or abandoned barn, whatever it was, they prank Quinn by having Matt go act like he's gonna pee, and then he comes out with his guts out. And Tucker is dressed as Friendo.
Yeah.
But she like freaks out, and then they're like, ha 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 ha, it was a prank. And then when she gets home, she gets sent the video of the prank, and she notices there is another clown in the background.
Yeah.
So she sends it back to them being like, who the fuck is this? And then it cuts to Tucker at home, and somebody knocks on the door.
And he's playing some drums.
Yes.
He's having a good old time.
But then nobody's there. Or I think he sees like a muddy footprints or like leaves get in the house, because I know he gets mad that there's a mess.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And then he gets a Nerf gun because he thinks he's being pranked, so he's gonna like shoot them, and he tries to find them everywhere until eventually he finds plastic wrap in his room. Which how does that get there very fast? I want it, but then he gets killed.
Yeah, it's a perfectly cromulent slasher death.
Craven recently pointed out that you say that you've said that in the last like 4 episodes. And I was like, has he? I haven't even noticed.
Yeah. You know what? It has become a bigger part of my vernacular lately. Honestly, I credit Katie's brother with doing that. He uses that word a lot. Somewhere along the lines, I just started picking it up.
Like saying analysis paralysis.
Yeah, except that phrase irritates me. And I don't know why. So the next day at the Town Founders Day parade, Matt, Janet, and Ronnie botch a filmed prank, which ends up burning down a float and injuring a woman by knocking a statue over onto her, getting the entire friends group thrown into jail, earning more ire from the town, and widening the rift between Quinn and Glenn.
Which is also fucked up because, again, they didn't do anything. Cole and Quinn literally weren't involved in the prank.
Yeah, but you know how this goes. Like when you have a shitty group of friends, or when you have friends when you have a group that is constantly making trouble,
judged by the company you hold.
And in some ways that's not fair. In other ways, it's what you get.
Yeah, I guess.
You know,
she's been here for
a day. Been here for like Yeah, it is. I think this is still her first day in town.
No, I think the fair's the next day.
Oh, was it the next day?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, right. Because they were at the barn getting drinking and all that. We see Matt lifting weights in his garage when someone dressed as Friendo comes in and decapitates him with a hacksaw. It's a decent scene and an okay kill, but like, there's a few major problems that I have with this. Actually, first being a guillotine style of decapitation does not make any kind of sense with fucking hacksaw, especially an old rusty hacksaw like the one that we were looking at.
The blade would break before.
The blade would pop off, and if it didn't pop off, yes, it would break, and his neck would still have been crushed by the weights.
Are we looking for realism in our Clown in a Cornfield movie?
No, but this still just irritated me, and it irritated me on a few levels, one of which I'll talk about later, but the other one, which being like just growing up in a construction household, I know hacksaws enough to know that this is not how this would work.
I commented on it when I was watching it too, but I knew I was just being nitpicky.
They didn't even have like the hacksaw shaved down into a razor or something would have made at least a little more sense. It's still a fucking serrated blade.
Yeah.
That thing would have just gone hunk, and then the fucking weights would have broken his neck, and actually it probably would have been a slightly more horrific death.
Yeah.
I did like the thing where his head just pops off and falls into his beer cooler with slam shut.
It's pretty funny.
That's some good funny cheese. Quinn sneaks out to go with Cole to a party that they throw every year after the parade, and on the way they run into Rust, who's been out hunting. Rust and Cole trade a few passive-aggressive barbs, and Rust again warns Quinn to be careful who she hangs out with. So they go to the party, they have some drinks and do some dancing, and the remaining gang notices that Tucker and Matt are both missing, but assume that this means that they're playing a prank. After some more dancing, Quinn and Cole steal away to a storage shed, and it looks like they're gonna bang, but Cole stops things, which embarrasses Quinn.
She is very aggressive. For somebody she met a day ago, maybe 2. And I get it. No, that's fine, but
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being aggressive, but he's totally like flustered to begin with. And even if we didn't get the reveal, I understand him being like, whoa, we go slow. But it is funny because he has to go slower. And she thinks like she starts like
she says something
rubbing
like,
him slower, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's like, I meant like go get a beer or something. Slow.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad for her too, because
so it's really funny because I was going to make a joke about like really liking when a woman is just like super aggressive like that, but I have actually been in similar situations where like I'm not super into what's going on and the girl's just like, Prah! And it puts a lot of fucking pressure on you because you got all those voices in the back of your head that's like, let's like be a man, take her now. You know, she obviously wants you and will be a quick, easy lay. But then there's just like the other part of me that's like not super into this chick. You know? Oh God. There was one incident when I was in college. I was drunk as shit at a party and just running my fucking mouth. As you do. And there is this one girl there that I really was not into, but who was very into me. And she was just a lot. Right. And my dumbass, not thinking that she was there, but being at the center of attention, being drunk and just absolutely feeding on that. Like, you know, I love being the center of attention. Said something along the lines of, I remember what it was. I was on some stupid rant about like the different ways that men and women hit on each other. And I was like, I don't want to deal with all this ambiguity bullshit. If a chick is into a dude, she should just walk up to him, grab his hands and put them on her tits. And I swear to fucking God, just dug my own grave there because this girl immediately stood up, sat down in my lap, grabbed my hands and did just that. Whole party left. Yeah. Just immediately cleared out and was like, all right, let these two go at it. I'm like, fuck. It was a very uncomfortable situation. Also, totally ended that party. Yeah. And it was particularly bad because everybody like basically walked out laughing like, holy shit, because people knew that I wasn't into her. And there was people knew that I just totally got myself in trouble there. Getting out of that one gracefully was difficult and unsuccessful. Anyway. I don't know how much of that I'm leaving in. That story doesn't make me look great either.
Thanks for joining us here at the Streaming Screams podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube at Streaming Screams Pod.
You can also find us on TikTok and Blue Sky at Screams Pod.
Every follow, like, thumb, rating, review, subscription, and share all help us out a lot with all the algorithm shit.
So if you like what we're doing, please rate us wherever you get your podcasts, like our posts, you know, all that other good internet bullshit. And again, thank you for listening to
the Streaming Screams Podcast.
So this embarrasses Quinn, but we find out that there is a pattern with Cole, that he keeps leading on girls and rejecting them. At this point, Friendo emerges from the corn, along with Matt's head and some girl with an arrow in her back. Friendo attacks Quinn, Ronnie, and Janet before Rust shows up and shoots him. At this point, a bunch of Friendos emerge from the corn with a variety of weapons like chainsaws and spiked bats and go chasing after the kids, trapping the remaining members of our gang in a shed. Rust and Cole argue, and in a somewhat funny moment, we and all of the girls Cole has spurned find out that Cole and Rust were together. This was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising though.
It wasn't surprising, but it was the girls coming to this realization was very funny.
Yeah, they're just like, oh.
This movie does have a few pretty funny moments in it.
Yeah.
This was one of them. But at this point, Glenn is captured and forced to operate on the friendo that Rust had shot.
Yeah, he was driving around looking for Quinn and then noticed that his office was broken into.
Yeah.
So he went to check on it.
Oops. In the meantime, Sheriff Dunn finds the remaining friends who have escaped and instead of doing anything about it, arrests Cole. The girls all run through the cornfield to try to get help, but Ronnie runs right smack into the waiting chainsaw of one of the many friendos. And then Quinn and Janet make it to the house, finding a dead friendo in the living room. They also find a bunch of newspaper clippings that imply that adults have been dressing as friendo and killing kids for decades. So also here they do the stupid, like, kids today don't understand how to use a rotary phone
I think it's funny because also you're in an old town, so it is likely there would be a rotary phone and they wouldn't know how to use it.
I think the kids who grew up in this old town would know how to use it.
Not necessarily.
Also,
look, because kids nowadays, you don't even need a rotary phone. You have a phone with buttons on the outside. They don't know how to use it. They don't realize you pick up a phone before you dial. And it's not like boomer humor. It's just there's difference in technology.
This is pretty boomer humor.
I think it's funny because they have tried to reach 911 and they finally get a phone and then they can't use it, which is funny because then it's just they still couldn't find a phone, but then it's like, oh, doesn't help.
Maybe it's just because I'm like in this weird age where I'm not a kid, but I'm not like that old either. But I was just like,
I thought it was funny.
I feel like they would still know how to use it.
I know kids older than this that have run into rotary phones and can't use them.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know somebody who still has a rotary phone on their wall, and they're like, yeah,
really?
Kids don't know how to use it. Some people still have landlines.
No, I was thinking that would be kind of cool to have a rotary phone on the wall.
But yeah, no, kids do not understand the concept of how to use them. One, they have no idea how to dial it, and once they figure that out, they usually dial and then pick up. Because you would dial the number and then hit call.
Yeah.
So they don't. It's not like I don't feel like it's like, oh, kids are stupid. It's just like, no, things are different now, and they wouldn't know how to use it.
No, I agree. I know that there's a lot of technology that kids today would not know how to use, and that's fine. Most adults, I think if I asked my mom or dad to use abacus to figure out some math shit, they probably wouldn't be able to. Like, technology always goes obsolete, and then people don't know how to fucking use it.
Yeah.
And
they're not calling the kids stupid. Fine. In no way does this imply that kids are stupid.
Not in this movie, but this is like a frequent meme that I see, like, oh, you want to cripple an entire generation? Make all the phones rotary and leave all the instructions in cursive. And I'm like, God, fucking grow up, guys.
They only stopped teaching cursive for a very long time, or for a very short time, and they do now. So people need to shut up with that.
I know. You know what? I don't think they should be teaching cursive anymore. It's not that useful.
Yeah, it is. The reason they started teaching it again is because they're like, oh, we're making it so the future generations can't read historical documents.
Yeah, I guess.
So that means you're just erasing history. You can just take it off the internet, and now nobody can it will never exist again. So no, that's a bad thing.
I suppose. I don't know.
But no, this is just funny because there is a phone that they can read, but they can't use it. Also, who are they going to call? This 911? You already know this is an asshole cop.
There is that.
So what is that going to do?
I don't know. So surprise, surprise, the mystery dead friendo wasn't actually dead, and he kills Janet with a pitchfork. After a fight, Quinn manages to get him with that pitchfork, and this leads to another very stupid but funny gag where the clown falls down next to Janet, and Janet's last words are, "I hate you, Quinn," with the clowns being, "Me too."
Yeah, but the reason that Janet says it is because Quinn steps on her to pull the pitchfork out of her so she can attack the friendo.
Oh my God, I didn't notice she stepped on her
because she can get it out. So she literally puts her foot on her chest, rips the pitchfork out, and then stabs the clown. And as she's ripping it out, Janet's like, "I hate you, Quinn." And then as she stabs the clown, he says, "Me too."
Man.
Which is actually funny. And also, she says sorry before she steps on her.
Yeah,
but it's what are you supposed to do?
No, I know. This was a very funny moment. Like I said, there are a few very funny moments in this. This is one of the better ones.
I think once the killings start, the movie's fine. It's just like stupid fun, and it's like, but it's everything leading up to that is just awkward.
Yeah.
And like irritating.
So yeah, we go back to Glenn.
So the thing is, it's because the guy's like, oh, make sure you keep him alive. And he says he needs saline. So the guy turns around and then he takes off the heartbeat thing.
He takes he unplugs the monitor basically. So it's all like, Bee!
Yeah. And then is like yelling at him to do something.
Well, he gives him the paddles for like what are those things called? Defibrillators?
Yeah.
But what does he do after that? I seem to remember this being funny.
It was.
Oh, right. So Glenn convinces him use the defibrillator paddles. Mm-hmm. He's getting ready to do it, and then Glenn stabs him in the neck, and he's like, "Now you're gonna want to leave that in."
I think it was with scissors or something, but he's like, "Leave it in."
Yeah, and he's like, "It's a knife. It's
is it a knife? Okay, but
it's one of the knives.
It's not a scalpel though.
No, it's the clown's buck knife.
Oh, okay.
So he steals the clown's buck knife, sticks it into this other clown, like in the neck, and he's like, "Okay, now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to leave that in."
And then he takes it right out, and then he's like, and it's funny because he's like, "Well, look at that now. Now you're bleeding."
Which I understand this is a horror movie, and I understand that this is a bad guy. Little callous on your part, Glenn.
I thought that too. I was like, he's very chill for killing somebody. Like, I understand that you're doing it out of self-defense. Still, usually people freak out, puke, get upset. He seemed just like, well, it's like a disappointed dad telling their kid, like, "What? I told you."
If somebody broke in here and I killed them, even not in like a really intimate way, like stabbing them in the neck, I wouldn't sleep for a month.
Yeah.
I think it would drastically change me as a person.
Yes.
You know?
Most people.
But yeah, he is just like, oh, now you're going to bleed to death. Yeah. And you know what that delivery kind of reminded me of is Falling Down. When Michael Douglas is on the golf course and he shoots the golf cart and the cart goes running down the hill into the pond, and old guy has the fucking heart attack and he's like, my pills. And Michael Douglas is like, where are your pills? And he goes, the cart. And he goes, well, now you're going to die wearing that stupid hat. And this felt exactly like that. And which is funny because in Falling Down, Michael Douglas has lost his shit and is on a rampage. And Glenn's just sitting here, has no idea what's going on and just had to, you know, killed an attacker basically. So having that delivery be so similar was so weird.
Yeah.
Good times. So yeah, Quinn is captured and taken to the syrup factory where a bunch of friendos unmask, revealing that, surprise, surprise, it's all the shitty adults that we've seen all throughout the movie. Yeah. This also involves a gag where Quinn is trying to escape but can't drive stick shift.
Oh, yeah. So earlier, I was going to say this too. Like earlier when her dad catches her out another time, she's like, oh, whose car is this? And he's like, well, I was going to give it to you, but it's stick shift. Yeah. And he's like, I thought it would be a bonding moment, but now, you know, you're not getting the car. But then he just pushes it into drive like it's an automatic.
Later. Right?
No, it's right in that scene when they're talking about it that he just pushes forward, and I'm like, that's not how you put a manual in first.
You got to hold
the thing. No, he just goes. He just pushes forward and starts going. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Oh God, I did instantly. I was like, wait a minute.
I caught it in the bug later, but I didn't catch that in the. So the note that I had here was, this is again, we have this sort of boomer humor, kids can't use technology gag.
You need to stop saying boomer.
It's the label that's been put on that kind of humor these days.
No, it's just like, because one, we're not just like, do people even know who boomers are anymore?
No, it's a generic term now. It's
not just like, because that's been humor since when we were kids. Because when we were younger, the vast majority of people did not drive stick shift.
I know.
My mom is in her 70s, doesn't know how to drive stick shift, never did in her entire life. It's not new humor.
I actually did know how to drive stick for a minute, but if you put me in a car with stick today, I probably wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I think I went on like...
taught me how to drive stick shift, but then I never had a car with stick shift, so no, I don't.
Yeah.
I know the like basics.
I initially started to learn on stick shift. I don't think I drove a stick after like however old I was.
Yeah.
For that. But either way.
Actually, you know what? It's more like fucked up because you're actually also making fun of old people. My dad had to get rid of his stick shift because his leg's all fucked up and he can't push the clutch down anymore.
Well, now that you've pointed that out, we'll have to remove all of these jokes.
I'm just saying, driving stick shift or not is not an age thing.
Can't be ageist anymore.
No, I'm just saying it's not.
Cancel culture.
I'm just saying.
Everyone's gotta be woke today.
It's not an age thing.
I know. It is meant as this same type of generational
also annoying
gag.
Because this is not the point of the book.
Oh, really?
The town is not involved.
Oh, my
There's
God.
one killer.
Oh, my God.
There's no... this isn't like something that's happened yearly. It's a one-time thing, and it's because of...
Okay.
So it's Cole's dad, and it's all because of the sister dying, and that's it. That's it.
Right.
There's not all this other people hating everything the whole time. Also, the amount of friendos they show in the field when they're having the party.
So many.
It's so many, and it's a small town. I'm just like, why are they... And also, if it's supposed to be something that they do every year, so are they just having kids so they can murder them?
Yeah.
Even how big the party was. I was like, okay, for the size of town this is supposed to be, how do they have so many teenagers?
Yeah, so and also like, and I put this as like a note to discuss later, but the idea of an entire generation of adults just like loving the idea of dressing up as a clown and killing kids every few generations seems so fucking far-fetched. It's not... as
the FBI would get involved at some point, right?
Well, and as you just pointed out, it's not like a huge town.
Yeah.
So are you just going to wipe out an entire generation of fucking kids? But even then, even beyond that, how does this whole process repeat? Like, how do you live through an incident where a bunch of your friends, bunch of your classmates and probably some of your family is killed when you're a kid, and then later on you're just like, yeah, that's cool, can't wait for my turn.
Yeah.
This is an absurd plot choice.
And again, it's like, it would be one thing if it's just the people that they showed. The shop worker, the teacher, the cop, and the mate or the waitress.
Yeah.
Sure. But no, in the field part, it's like dozens of them.
Right.
So that means it has to be like all the parents, right? Or at least one parent from each family.
I don't think it was that many, but it is just entirely too many. There's a lot. After this whole gag with Quinn not being able to use a stick shift, because we got to have this generational thing, which I know it's not technically a generational thing, but you know that's what their intent was.
No, I know. But also, I feel like in a small town, probably most of the kids would know how to drive stick shift because aren't like tractors and shit.
Pretty sure most.
I'm just saying they live in a farm town.
I think most. Okay, I'm not an expert on tractors, so I could be wrong here, but I think most tractors work on a different mechanism altogether.
Okay.
I
just feel like there's old trucks around, like in farm towns and shit. I just feel it's more likely in all like off-roading. I just feel it's more likely that kids here would know stick shift versus like kids in the suburbs.
Yes. Although to be fair, none of those kids get in the driver's seat.
That's true.
It is just Quinn.
Yeah, but who is
the new girl?
I know, but you'd be like, I can't drive stick shift, and somebody else goes, I can. Cool. Yeah. Switch places.
So we find out that Cole's dad, Mayor Hill, was the one who actually burned down the factory in the first place and pinned the blame on Cole for some reason. He says it's because he blames Cole's sister dying on his watch. Honestly, I'm actually going to guess that there's probably supposed to be the implication of some homophobia too. Also, he really hates cat videos. This whole scene gets so cringe. Oh. We've got these like dueling speeches, you know, the kids being like, you'd rather kill us than listen. And the adults being like, your generation is the worst with your TikToks and your YouTubes. And I
also don't know what their full plan was, because then they like are like, we're going to like frame, like Cole's going to get hung.
It was going to be a murder-suicide.
Okay.
Between Cole and his girlfriend of 3 days. Because it's still like her third day in town.
Yeah, I just don't understand like all the stuff that's happened, how they would pin it on one child.
Because the sheriff is involved.
I guess, but again, this would be more high profile that the state police would get involved.
Maybe. I mean, if the sheriff doesn't run it up to them and they're, you know, a rural town out in the middle of nowhere that nobody's paying attention to, I'm guessing that's the conceit here. But really, I think the actual answer is that it wasn't that thought out.
Yeah. But again, this is what I'm talking about, that there's weird choices of what you change from the book to this. It's just like, why?
This movie is so I know
because especially being like, oh, we do, it's tradition. It's like, that makes it weirder. Like, how would that be possible? How do you still have a town?
Yeah. I understand that the tension between generations in America seems more heightened now than usual, although it's not unusual at all to have tension between generations. But this movie is so focused on generational culture war stuff that I found myself rolling my eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
The adults hating kids and killing them, ridiculous, for like no justifiable reason besides, you know, again, Cole's dad literally says cat videos. That's what makes your generation the worst. And I'm like,
hey, Keyboard Cat was recorded on a VHS. That was before the internet. So guess what? Cat videos have always been around.
That's right.
Everybody loves Keyboard Cat.
It is absurd. The adults killing kids, far-fetched as it is for the plot, in my opinion, is sufficient. Yeah. We don't need this many speeches to hammer it home. Like, if you didn't understand the tension between the adults and the kids at the like half-hour mark of this movie, you are clearly too inebriated to be paying attention to a movie anyway.
Yeah.
And also, for a movie about how kids aren't as dumb as adults think they are, this movie sure does not seem to trust its like young adult audience to understand that theme, which is very funny to me.
Well, that's another thing that I was going to bring up later is just though, who is this movie for? Because it's a young adult novel, which I looked it up just out of curiosity, which age range 13 to 18 is typically. People read stuff out of that age range, but it's meant for people that age range. This movie's rated R. None of those people could watch this, technically.
Is it rated R?
Yes! I looked it up. There's too much blood. And I think there's cursing too.
I mean, there is. I mean, I'm honestly surprised to find it has a rating. Was this shown in theaters?
Yeah.
Why?
But yeah, it's rated R. And so I'm just like, so who is the intended audience?
I think that the intended audience is young adult.
I agree, like teenagers, but it's technically they can't see this movie.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And again, as I was saying, for a movie that is about how teenagers are not as dumb as adults think they are, it sure does not trust the teenagers to actually understand that theme.
Yeah.
So eventually Glenn bursts through the wall with his car and there's a big old fight and all of the clowns except for Mayor Hill are killed. One of them gets his head crushed with a big old iron bar, which is pretty cool. Yeah. The waitress gets impaled on a...
There's decent kill scenes. It's fun when they're murdering.
Yes, and the kills in this movie a lot of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're not amazing, nothing to write home about, but they're fun. This scene, we get like 4 right in a row, and that's great. But yeah, so we get this big old fight. All the clowns except for Mayor Hill are killed. Rust shows up and saves Cole so they can make out. And then later, I don't know how much later, I'm guessing a year, Glenn is running for mayor.
Oh, I think they said it was 6 months or something.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
I didn't see him.
Because the whole thing is she was already in senior year. So that's why he was like, you don't even have to be here that long.
Right.
But I think they said it was like 6 or 7 months.
Okay. Yeah, so later on, Glenn is running for mayor while Quinn leaves, presumably for college. Yep. We get this touching goodbye with Cole and Rust. And then as she's leaving, she notices a Bay Pen Jack-in-the-Box in her backseat, which she tosses out the window. Yep. The Jack-in-the-Box is like this item that shows up throughout the movie. And
it's just a friendo memorabilia.
Yeah, and sometimes it's used in a sinister fashion, and sometimes it's just a cute little thing. Yeah. Either way, I'm guessing Cole, being the prankster that he is, slipped it in there. Who knows?
Cole never seemed that big of a prankster, though. They mostly were. Like, he never really because he even, like, when she was freaking out, was like, no. And then when they're doing the alcohol thing, how he's leaving money, he seems like he's not actually. He just hangs out with pranksters.
Well, when they go to do the thing at the parade float, he is like, all right, let me get some, wide angle shots here, but...
Yeah, but he also is like, I don't know what they're doing, but I know they have something planned. He wasn't involved. He literally says, he's like, I'm pretty sure they have something planned.
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's just with these people. It doesn't seem like he actually participates.
Well, and the interesting thing about that is the movie very much does try to set him up to be like the ringleader here. But you are right. He is not actually the one that initiates anything.
Yeah, but I think it's because his dad's trying to set him up as being this hated person. But so another thing in the book, Cole and Quinn have a will they, won't they, but they never kiss or anything. It's like very like mild.
Yeah.
It's not really meant to be like pushed as a big relationship.
I mean, it is clear that they were...
Also, technically, he doesn't seem like he's ever hitting on her again, if you like really pay attention. He's just being nice.
Right. Oh, no,
he never does anything except for being nice. He does go get on my shoulders, which I will say, as a woman, like a teenager, I would take that as flirting.
Yeah, but he's trying to get a shot.
Yeah, so I'm like, if you actually pay attention, he never really is doing anything. He's just kind of nice.
No, and the second time through this, I did pay attention to that, and especially when they start making out in the car, it is all her.
Yeah.
She goes right for him. He's just sitting there.
Yeah, they make her horny.
Yeah.
It was funny because the person, which I kind of agree, I guess, the person I was watching who read the books and this and were telling the difference, they were like, these two actors need to be in a role together where they are partners because they have really good chemistry. And I'm like, yeah, I guess they do.
Yeah, like, I can see it.
To the point where I didn't notice at first that he isn't doing anything.
Okay, so... a few things I have to say about this movie. It is a bold fucking move to make a clown-based horror movie in the time of Terrifier. It is especially bold when you pull out a weapon like a rusty hacksaw, which is one of Art's signature weapons.
Yeah.
And it becomes really hard to not start drawing comparisons. And I think that this really works against the film because while you could argue the film elements of either movie being better or worse than the other, it definitely does make the clown villains here seem pretty weak in comparison. And when you toss in the fact that it was a little while ago, but it's still sort of in the general memory of people, doing the whole generational thing, like I said, it brought to mind the 27-year cycle from It. In my opinion, this movie really invited a lot of comparison to better killer clowns.
Sure. Which
really makes it seem weak, especially like with as big as Art the Clown has gotten. Also, not related to that. I mean, kind of related to that. In just about every way, I wanted more from this movie. And that's sort of my biggest problem with it. It's fine. It's a decent movie, but it's too flat to say that it's a good movie or to even say that it's a bad movie. And I put together this stupid list. More depth of character, more showing and less telling, more kills, more brutality in the kills, more spookiness and atmosphere, more tension, more chaos, more logic, more social commentary. Obviously, not all of these elements would work together.
I don't think you need more kills because, again, this is...
I'm just saying I want more something out of this movie. Not all of the things on that list even work together. Like, it would be really hard to pull off more chaos and more logic.
Yeah.
But if the filmmakers had just picked like any two things off of that list and pushed some focus on them, I think it would have made for a much better movie. Sure. As it is just flat in every direction. If this movie were like one of those video game and anime charts where it's all like, you know, where it's like circular and it has some like weird shape where it's all like power over here, speed over here, intelligence over here, it would just be a little tiny circle in the middle. Like it could have been good or it could have been bad. And either one of those could have made it more fun. But as it was, it just wasn't anything.
I think once the kills start after the party thing, I think it's fun. It's fine.
It gets
because even
fun,
the thing, like when the chick comes out with an arrow in her back, they all just think it's fake, and then they're just all poking at her and stuff, and then the head comes out, and they're just like, "Oh, look at this fake head."
Well, like I said, it has its fun moments, it has its funny moments. A couple of the kills are good. Some of the jokes are pretty great. I just don't think that there was like enough of any of them to justify the movie.
No, like I said, I hated the dialogues. I was irritated within 5 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
The acting's not great. The writing's terrible.
The writing is pretty bad. And I don't know, are they planning a second one? The mayor gets away, so I'm guessing that's sequel bait.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it did like insanely well. It didn't do bad, but
yeah, I mean, if they made this movie when all the, you know, goofy clown sightings were a thing, I think it would have been better. If they had made this movie before...
There's lots of clowns movies from that time.
Sure. And it would have probably been lost in the shuffle, but I think it would have still been better. As of right now, it just seems like a sort of lukewarm Johnny-come-lately effort at a new clown horror. And like I said, 8 years removed from all those clown sightings, and in the year of our Lord Art the Clown, it's just really mediocre.
In clown news, did you know that David Arquette is the official Bozo the Clown?
I did.
Anytime you see Bozo the Clown, it's David Arquette.
I did. And I don't remember if you're the one that told me that.
I probably did, because I think it's funny.
It is funny.
And literally any event you see Bozo the Clown, it's him.
Wild.
Yeah. Huh. And he goes to a lot of random like fairs and stuff like that.
David Arquette is just this weird outlier from the Arquette family, man.
Well, they got raised in a cult, so, you know, that'll happen.
Yeah. But you know, he was like super involved in wrestling, and I think he became a champion somewhere for a moment. He's got
that Scream money. He doesn't have to give a shit.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You got to get to a level of money where you're like, I can just do whatever I want now.
Yeah, I remember watching this video from the Young Bucks YouTube channel, and boy, I'm really telling on myself here. But I remember him, like, they had David Arquette show up to like their party, and they both like super kicked him in the face, and it's, you know, a fun little gag. But it is just like, David Arquette's really into wrestling. And then I started like looking into it. It's like, oh shit, he's really into wrestling. But yeah, goofy bastard. Definitely the silliest of the Arquette family. So who would you recommend this movie for?
I guess for the odd person that really likes clown stuff. There are people who clown horror is their favorite horror, then check it out, I guess. I think it would be pretty good because some of the visuals of to have it on mute during a party. Once they get the fighting going. Other than that,
I mean, I would probably edit out like the first half of the movie more or less before doing that.
I guess not. Yeah. Just if you're really into clowns, I guess.
Yeah. You know what?
Or if you're a fan of the novels, I guess.
It sounds like the novels are pretty different.
They are, but I'm like, check it out, you know?
Yeah, I guess...
the girl I saw reviewing it, she appreciated the differences.
I don't think I would recommend it to anybody, but I also wouldn't dissuade anyone from watching it. Like I said, it's sort of mediocre.
There's way worse movies out there to watch.
There's way worse movies out there. But that's what I'm saying, though. I would honestly rather watch a lot of worse movies.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. Are you going to go out and buy it on DVD? Probably not. Are you ever going to watch it a second time? For me, definitely well, I mean, I already did, but for this.
Yeah, I have no interest in
but I will not be seeing it again, ever, unless I end up at somebody's house and they put it on for some random reason.
I still would be like, maybe something else.
We do Terrifier 2 instead.
They have Terrifier at Halloween Universal Studio Horror Nights. They have a Terrifier haunt. You should watch it online.
If only Katie's family still lived down there, I would just go.
But they have the bisecting scene in the house.
Oh, really?
They also have
with titties and everything?
No, she's wearing underwear, but still, it's from vagina down. And then they have also the Terrifier 2, like her in the bathroom getting all the salt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it looks like a really good replica.
Yeah, it looks fun.
I was just surprised that they had it at Horror Nights. I was like, oh.
Dude,
this is like families.
It's cool. Dude, it is wild how big Art the Clown is.
My cousin,
he's like a fucking household name now.
My cousin said he's only seen the third one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
And he's in 8th grade.
That's wild. Yeah, like obviously.
He didn't like it. He's like, it's no storage, just cringe to be cringe.
Well, see, this is the advantage of starting with the first one. After the first one, they all look like, masterpieces of storytelling.
Sure.
Yeah, it is wild to me how big Art the Clown has gotten. I don't, obviously he's not up to, what Freddy or Jason were in the 80s or anything like that.
He's not getting his own TV show anytime soon.
No, I don't think they're marketing action figures towards kids. Although I do have the Daisy glasses.
But those are just.
But those are like, I mean, I literally got them from the Halloween store.
Yeah, I'm like, those are literally just, now they just have ones that say Terrifier.
Yeah. I think mine do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, if you would like to watch Clown in a Cornfield, you can do so with a subscription to Shudder, AMC Plus, or Philo. You can also rent or buy it on Amazon, Apple TV, Fandango at Home, or Barnes & Noble. Good times. That's going to do it for us. Jess, play us out.
Hey kids, stay out of my cornfield. I'm friendo, stay out of my town.
Oh boy.